Hi, happy Thursday. This is Healthy Mama B, and welcome to my live session tonight. We are going to be talking about dialing it down, when to realize when you are overdoing it. When you're on a mission to lose weight, you might be willing to try just about anything to achieve your weight loss goals. And we talked a little bit about this. Actually, we talked a lot about this in the 90 pounds in 90 days video chat just a couple of weeks ago. Getting into that headspace and getting motivated to lose weight is a phenomenal thing. But we have to be really careful because sometimes if we're really motivated, we get too caught up in what's going on and we have a tendency to overdo it. I got a message recently from one of my followers wanting to know how to recognize when too much effort is being put into it and how to really identify when we're going overboard in our weight loss and exercise efforts. And so that's what we're going to actually be focusing on. Because sometimes, even though we're motivated to lose weight, we have to be really careful because if we take it too far, it can backfire and cause unhealthy results rather than the weight loss that we're actually looking for. And, you know, I've talked over and over and over again about how important it is to do this in a very healthy way. If you want to lose weight and get fit and be healthy, we have to be smart about it and we have to do it in a healthy way. We don't want to overdo it. So let's talk for a couple of minutes about what can actually happen if we overdo it. Well, if we cut calories too much and we undereat, or we do too much intense physical activity, it can potentially lead to nutritional deficiencies, muscle loss, and other health risks. So they can also undermine your long-term goals for weight maintenance, weight loss, and overall good health. So keep in mind that we want to do this in a really steady progression. We want to make sure that we are pacing ourselves, and we should be able to do this in a way that makes health sense to us. Okay, so let's talk about things. We're going to talk about 7 different areas of concern. And as we go through them, you might realize that you may be doing a little bit of this. I know when I was going through this and putting it together, I thought, my goodness, I'm actually doing a little bit of this too. So sometimes you have to be a little careful, and I'll tell you what I've been doing so that you can learn from my mistakes as well. Okay? Drinking more than 2 liters of water per day. Now, every weight loss expert is going to tell you that you need to drink water because it helps detoxify your body, it helps you shed excess water, it helps flush you out. But sometimes we have a tendency to substitute water for meals, thinking that it's going to help us make you feel full. But doing this before a meal can actually help, and I've done that when I've been really unsure whether I'm actually hungry, physically or emotionally hungry. I'll drink water. I usually carry this around with me. It's a Tervis filled with water, and I'll go ahead and I'll drink a glass of water before I have a meal, and that will really help me curb my appetite a little bit before I eat. But if you have a tendency to drink rather than eat, then that's going to be detrimental to your overall weight loss efforts. Why? Because ultimately drinking the water is not going to satisfy your hunger, and you're not going to get the nutrients from it. So ultimately what's going to happen is that it's going to lead to a major binge because you're not getting the food and the nutrients and the satisfaction that you're looking for. In addition, even if you're going to lose weight initially, because you're cutting significant calories by not eating, and I'm not saying that this is the way to go, but you will lose weight. As soon as you start eating, you're going to gain it back. So drinking more water than you're supposed to, while it will help flush your body, and I'm not saying don't do it, don't substitute water for meals. You have to eat. In order to lose weight, you have to feed your body. It's about making the healthier choices for your body, feeding it nutrients that are going to be better for you long term. Okay? And let's talk about that because I've talked a lot over the last couple of weeks and months about being able to eat what you want and having the flexibility in your meal plan. There are times that folks decide to cut food completely out of their food plan. And when we do that, it also sets us up for failure. And it can also take us sort of like on the edge of doing a little bit too much. So for example, if you haven't eaten any of your favorite foods for about 2 to 3 weeks, and you don't indulge in them, you're going to be more apt to cheat if you're going to deprive yourself of the foods that you love. Okay, if you say to yourself, and we talked about this a little bit last week, if you say, I'm going to cut out all carbs and all sugars and all fats from my diet, and I'm not going to eat them ever again, one, that's completely unrealistic. Okay, you need carbs to live, you need fats to live, and sugar, well, do you necessarily need sugar? No, but you probably enjoy it. So you don't want to deprive yourself of it, because really after a while you're going to crave it. And what's going to happen is you're going to go after it, and then you're going to eat more of it than you're supposed to, and you're going to wind up sabotaging your efforts. Okay, so it's important that you indulge in foods in a healthy way. Okay, so if you're going to have your carbs, make sure that they're healthier carbs. If you want to have your favorite food, for example, my favorite food is pizza. I'm going to have pizza, but instead of having 4 slices or 3 slices, I'll have 1 or 2 slices depending on the size of the slice. So you just have to do it in moderation. Okay, you can't go crazy with making these lifestyle changes that are not going to be realistic. Okay, cutting back on your macronutrients, like I said, like carbs and dairy, just isn't healthy. To say that you're never going to eat it again just doesn't make any sense, because once you start eating that food again, and let's talk about you know, on the Atkins diet. Okay, I was on Atkins years ago, and I gave up carbs, and I liked it, right? It was a little struggle giving up bagels and bread and everything that I enjoyed, but I did it. But then I realized, you know what? I can't live on protein alone for the rest of my life, proteins and fats. I need to have complex carbohydrates in my diet, so I started adding it back. Once I started adding it back, I wasn't really sure of the quantities, and what happened was I started gaining weight. So ultimately, you have to be able to balance the nutrients in with the rest of your diet. Okay, you know, not only that, but, you know, carbohydrates don't necessarily have to be bread and rice. You can get carbohydrates from a lot of vegetables. You can get them from a lot of, you know, different types of beans. There's a lot of nutrients that you can find. Carbohydrates can come from other sources rather than just the breads, the crackers, and the pasta and the rice that we think they are. So if you do a little research, you'll find that there are a lot of alternatives. You'll also note that carbohydrates are filled with fiber, and fiber is very important for your digestion. If you don't eat carbohydrates, or at least your fiber, then you can get constipated, which will lead to weight gain, because you're just gaining weight because you're not eliminating. In addition, you know, some people say that they're going to eliminate dairy because they feel that dairy is not healthy. And, you know, there are people who have different schools of thoughts, people who are vegans and they give it up. And if that's, you know, where you are in terms of your meal plan, then that's what you have to go with. But if you're afraid of eating dairy because of the fat content, note that there are a lot of healthy fats that help brain and memory function that you can find in yogurt and in milk. It's also filled with a lot of vitamins and calcium that are great for your bones, for your teeth. You know, there are a lot of nutrients in the foods that you feel you have to give up. So don't feel like you have to give up a lot of things in order to lose weight. You know, there's a feeling sometimes of desperation when you're feeling like you have to take the weight off. We want to take it off quickly, and we talked about this in my 90 pounds in 90 days discussion a few weeks ago. But don't allow those feelings of desperation to impact your choices. Make healthier choices, and you'll find that your long-term weight solution is going to be a long-term solution rather than a Band-Aid where you're going to take weight off and then put the weight back on. Okay. It's important that when we're looking at nutrients, that you promote a balance of macronutrients in your meals, with an emphasis of, colorful and natural foods. Fruits and vegetables, like I said, are a very important part of a healthy diet, but so are proteins and fats. People feel that they should eliminate fats because fats are not good for you. And last week in our discussion, we talked about the fact that there are really great fats out there. There's avocados, there's olive oil, there are a lot of substitutes and a lot of fats that are healthy for you, so you can make better choices. Okay. So Anne has a question. What do you think of smart dinners in the frozen department? You have to, I eat them sometimes. I do lean cuisines. I've done Weight Watchers. It depends. They're usually high in sodium, but they do have the nutritional labels on the back, which we talked about last week. So look at them and just, if they fit your lifestyle and your needs, they're low in calories, they're fine. They may not hold you because their protein content is not that high. You may want to add a salad to it. But if that's what you want to do and it fits into your meal plan, then go for it. Okay. So, just make sure that whatever your food choices are, that you're making healthy choices, and don't say to yourself, I'm going to cut out everything. There was a time when I said, I'm cutting out all sugars because I love sugars and I can't eat sugars, because if I eat a little bit of sugar, then I'm going to go crazy and I'm going to eat the whole darn thing. And ultimately, there was a time period where I actually gave it up, and I was successful in losing weight. But I'll tell you, when I decided to put sugar back into my diet, and this was not part of my regular everyday diet, but if I was at a party and I decided to, eat something with sugar in it, or there was actually a time when I bought a box of Mike and Ike's and I started to indulge in them, it was very hard for me to put down the box because it was like a kid in a candy store. Literally, it was easy for me to just eat the whole box, and I did. Now, had I had a little bit of sugar here and there, would it have been the same outcome? Probably not. Maybe so. I don't know. But my advice to you is not to go cold turkey on the foods that you love, or to decrease any type of nutritional content. Okay? Because then you feel deprived and you tend to binge more than you need to. Okay. Oftentimes, people think that if they work out every day, or if they work out 3 or 4 times a day, or if they burn X number of calories a day, then it's going to help speed up their weight loss. And you know what? It will, but you have to really think about your thoughts around exercise and what it means to you. If you're exhausted all the time because you're getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning to go to the gym, and you're spending 4 hours at the gym in the morning, and then you're going to the gym in the evening and you're spending 2 hours at the gym in the evening, and you're giving up social time with your friends and your family for the sake of working out, then you really need to think about the time that you're spending in the gym, because that's a bit of a problem. There's nothing wrong with exercising every day, and there's nothing wrong with getting a good workout in because it makes you feel good and it's good for your body. But you have to have balance, and you cannot go overboard with it. It's important for you to allow time for your body to relax and for your muscles to repair themselves after your really tough workouts. When you're short on rest, when you're not sleeping enough, when you are not allowing your body to get the time that it needs to get back to where it needs to be, then it increases stress, which we talked about several weeks ago. Stress increases your hunger hormones, which winds up leading to an increase in appetite and will make you hungry, so you will eventually eat more. Okay, it's this perpetual cycle, and it all feeds into each other. So it's important to keep in mind it's all about balance. It's all about making good choices. The highlight of exercise is not just, burning calories, okay? That's definitely a benefit, right? But it's more than that, okay? It's so much more than that. It's overall wellness. It's about, getting into a good mindset. It's about the endorphins that wind up getting pumped through your body because you have this natural high that results from it. You need to take the focus away from, burning the calories, because there are people that feel that if you burn more calories, it allows you to eat more. And that's a negative way of looking at it, right? Even though you think it may not be negative, you have to, that's an unhealthy way of looking at it. You should really think about it in terms of emphasizing the benefits of gaining strength, getting stronger, gaining stamina, increasing your energy levels, improving your overall mood, and really becoming physically active on a regular basis. You know, it keeps you healthy, it keeps you young, it keeps you fit, it makes you feel good. Those are the benefits of it. The bonus is that you burn the calories and that you probably get to eat a little bit more if you want to, but don't go overboard on it. Okay. Again, you have to have rest and relaxation and recovery as part of a balanced fitness program. You know, for me, I'm at the gym just about every day, 5 to 6 days a week. I usually rest on Sundays, and I usually pick one day during the week where I sleep in. And on the days that I'm not at the gym, I'm doing other things. Am I exercising vigorously? No, I'll go for a walk around the neighborhood. I'll clean my house. Those are burning calories, but it's not vigorous. I have to let my body heal, and I have to let my body feel better. So I know that the next time I go to the gym, I'll give myself even more of an effort because I allowed myself to rest and recuperate from the previous workout that I had. Okay. So that's very important. You don't want to overdo it. And, you know, sometimes people think that if you exercise too much, it's healthy, but ultimately it's just as bad as any type of eating disorder. You know, there's a disorder, you know, exercise bulimia, right? Just as you binge on food, you can binge on exercise too. So be really careful, make sure that you have that balance. Okay. And so let's talk for a couple of minutes about calories. Okay, there's this misconception that if you eat less calories than you're supposed to, you're going to lose weight quickly and it's going to be good for you and you're going to take the weight off fast. And ultimately, will it work? It might. But if you consume less than 1,200 calories a day, it's going to send your body into starvation mode. And your body can't determine whether or not you're actually eating less calories because you're stuck in the wild. Okay, or if you are actually trying to get into a smaller size because you want to be in a wedding dress or something like that. You know, so, you know, eating less calories than what you're supposed to ultimately is counterproductive to what you want to accomplish, no matter how much weight you want to lose. You have to focus on the foods that are going to give you the most nutritional value. So it's really like getting the most value. It's like getting the most bang for your buck, right? When you go to the store and you want to get something on sale, you want to get the best value. It's very similar when you're looking at nutrition. If you're going to eat a certain number of calories per day and you're going to limit yourself to the number of calories that you're allowed, you want to make sure that you're going to get the most nutritional value out of the foods that you're going to eat. So are you going to choose, I don't know, a salad for 400 calories, or are you going to choose 2 cookies for 400 calories? There's more nutritional value in the salad for 400 calories than you'll find in the cookies for 200 calories, okay? But if you choose cookies for 200 calories and you choose a salad for 400 calories, that's 600 calories. And if you're calling it a day, then you're putting yourself into starvation mode, and that's not healthy. You may lose weight initially, but ultimately you're depriving yourself, which can result in you know, your brain becoming very foggy. It's going to impact your memory capacity. It's going to make you feel exhausted, and it's actually going to prevent you from losing weight on a long-term basis because it's going to contribute to a plateau. You've got to feed your body. Last week we talked about how calories are energy. If you don't have energy to feed your body, then it goes into this perpetual state, and it's not healthy for you. Okay. You know, people also think that it's okay to skip meals because, you know, if you're hungry and you're out and about, or let's say you don't have something in the house, you may decide to skip a meal rather than eating something that may be a little bit off plan or maybe a little bit higher in calories. Ultimately, it's better to make the choice to eat rather than to not eat. So you have to, and let me clarify that, right? If you have a choice of eating a Snickers bar or eating an apple, you want to choose the apple because it's better in nutrition. If there's nothing to eat in the house, then what you want to do is you want to go to the grocery store and get yourself something healthy to eat. Okay. If you're out and about and you are running errands and you wind up getting hungry, there are always nutritional options out there. And we talked about this a little bit before as well. Always make the best choice for you. Okay. Try to create strategies for yourself to make choices that align with your health and fitness goals. Okay. And we're all gonna, this is an important caveat, we're all gonna blow it sometimes. We're all gonna be out and about, we're all gonna be at home, and we're all gonna eat things that we don't think are supposed to be eaten on our plans, and that's okay. You know what? It's okay to indulge once in a while, but we get right back on plan as soon as we're finished. We don't call it a day. We don't wrap in the towel and just say, you know what, we're done. I ate the thing and I'm finished. And that's it, and I'm done, and moving forward, I'm going to eat whatever I want because I screwed up, and my diet and my fitness plan is over, and I'm a failure, and my whole life stinks. We're not going to go down that path anymore because that way of thinking is over, okay? Eat, let it go, and move on, okay? You're not perfect. There are going to be times when you choose the hamburger over the chicken sandwich. Let it go, okay? You're allowed to live, and you're allowed to eat. Just don't make it a regular habit. Okay. Another item, and this is number 6 on my list, daily weigh-ins. And I am a huge fail at this because I do weigh myself daily and I need to work on this. It helps me stay accountable. But it helps, it's sort of counterproductive because there are many things that can contribute to weight fluctuation. Okay. It continues to contribute fluid retention, constipation. Really, the healthy thing to do is to weigh yourself once a week or every couple of days because ultimately that's what we all should be doing. Okay. Even more importantly, what I've noticed for myself is that over the course of the last couple of months, even though I had a weight loss of a couple of pounds, ultimately I've not seen a huge fluctuation in my weight. I've been converting fat to muscle, so I've been on this goal of losing my last 25 pounds, and I've lost a couple of pounds, but getting there has been a real challenge for me because I've been exercising, I've been weight training, I've been doing things, and I notice changes in my body, but I don't notice changes on the scale. So there was a time that I was incredibly frustrated because weighing in every day, you see it go up 2 pounds, you see it go down 2 pounds. Weighing once a week or every couple of days is actually a really good healthy option. So that's something I'm going to be working on. You know, when you don't see the scale budge, sometimes it leads to unhealthy and drastic behavior, some of which we've already talked about: cutting calories, exercising too much, you know, not eating the foods that you would like to eat because you think that you're not supposed to, etc., etc. Okay, I'm not saying that you know, don't weigh in because you obviously have to be accountable. So just make sure that you're doing it in a way that's healthy and spread out. Okay. And really the last thing is the fact that we put too much focus on how we look and not enough focus on how we feel. And that's a really big one because, you know, when I was getting frustrated with the lack of weight loss for a while, you know, I forgot about that. You know, I was looking at myself in the mirror and I thought, you know what, I'm looking the same, but I really wasn't looking the same. I didn't see myself because, you know, realistically, because I see myself all the time, but I was feeling amazing, getting stronger, getting leaner. You know, if we put so much emphasis on the way that we think about ourselves, it really has a huge impact on our physical appearance. And it's interesting because studies show that people who feel that they are overweight have a tendency to gain more weight than people who don't feel that way. So instead, focus on how you feel. Focus on how you feel about yourself physically, socially, emotionally. When you stick to a plan, when you get out and move a little bit, you tend to feel better about yourself. So focus on those feelings. Focus on the endorphins that are kicking in, and focus on the progress that you've made, not the long road that you have ahead of you, but focus on the road that you've gone from behind you and where you've gotten to today. You know, focus on the 10 pounds, the 20 pounds, the 30 pounds, the 3 pounds, the 2 pounds, the half a pound that you've lost. You know, focus on the muscles that you've built, the changes in your body, because that's what really matters. And every day you get closer to your goal, every single day, because every day you're learning new behaviors. Every day you're trying different things and you're learning what works for you. You know, I had a meeting this afternoon, and I said to the person that I was talking to, had I known that losing all of this weight would have been not as challenging. You know, I had this thing in my head that I had so much weight to lose, and it was so overwhelming that I thought I could never do it. And I set myself up for failure and didn't even try, or I would try for just a couple of days and then I would sabotage myself because I thought, oh my God, I'm never going to be able to do it. It's so much. But once I let it click in my head, and once I allowed it to turn on, and I had the confidence in myself and said, you know what, damn it, I'm going to do it no matter what. I am sticking with this. I did it. And I said to this person that I was meeting with that had I known that it wouldn't have been this hard to just stick with it, I would have done it years ago. You know, and ultimately it was just about learning. It was learning about what I could eat and what I can't eat. And it was learning about how to live with food and have a different relationship with it, and learning how to eat what I love and balancing it out with things that are healthier for me, you know. And it was all about learning and trial and error. And there were days that I made mistakes, and there are still days that I make mistakes. I'm human. I'm going to be human. And like I said many times before, this is a journey. The diet doesn't stop ever, ever. You know, it continues, because you have to be conscious. You have to be mindful of what you're eating. So that's my message for today. That, and the fact that if I can do it, and I shared this at my meeting also, the fact that I, the most non-compliant person ever, could actually get my mind in the right place to be successful was huge. And truly, I truly believe that if I could lose weight, then anybody can do it. And anybody who knows me personally could probably attest to that. So ultimately, you know, be very careful as you're moving forward on your weight loss plans. Don't overdo it. Create the balance. Make better choices, healthy choices, and don't do anything drastic. There was a question, Jennifer had a question about when you crave something sweet, what do you usually have? That's a great question, and there are a couple of things that I go to. When I was really focused, and it depends on the number of calories that I have available for my day, and I build it into my calories. There are a couple of things that I love. One, the little Jell-O sugar-free cups are 60 calories each. I love those. I usually go for the chocolate because I love chocolate, and I'll put a little whipped cream on it. That is a wonderful thing. I eat them very slowly. Love that. Also, the little Skinny Cows. The Skinny Cow has these little chocolates that come with caramel in them. You know, they're usually about 120, 130 calories a package. If I'm craving chocolate and I don't want the pudding, then that's what I will go for. But it's double the calories. So again, it depends on how many calories you have left at the end of the day, or work it into your daily calorie intake. And then my most favorite thing, and I'm plugging this because it is my most favorite thing. It's called Halo Top Ice Cream. I will plug this ice cream forever. It is a low calorie, high protein, low sugar, all natural ice cream. It is the most fabulous thing. It is heaven sent. It is, I love the salted caramel. It's 280 calories for an entire pint of ice cream. I don't eat the whole pint. I usually put in a quarter or a half a pint. I throw in a little bit of granola. I put a little bit of cream if I want it. And it is the most amazing thing. So really, it winds up being about 150, 180 calories with my toppings and everything on it. It is the most amazing thing I've ever had. And the fact that it has, I believe it's 5 grams of protein per serving is a nice, it's a nice addition to it. So Halo Top Ice Cream, it comes in a multitude of flavors. I think I've tried almost every one. Some of them are higher in calories than others. I think the highest calorie intake per pint, I thought like 350 or 380 a pint, which isn't bad. If you look at Haagen-Dazs, I think it's like 300 a cup, so it's not a bad thing. So Halo Top Ice Cream. All right, so what is healthy? What is healthy weight loss? You know, losing anything more than 2 pounds a week is relatively unhealthy, so be very careful. You know, sometimes we may lose a little bit more because we're shedding water weight. And also, you know, just as an aside, when I'm craving something and I keep craving sweet things, it's not something that I indulge in as often as I would like. When I really crave something and I have to have something, there are times that I go for my hot water with lemon. Sometimes I'll have a tea and I'll put some honey in it, and that usually satisfies the craving also. I also chew a lot of gum. I always have gum, always, because that helps also. Okay, I like to eat, and I do have a terrible sweet tooth. So if it was up to me, I'd be eating Twinkies all day long, and I just can't do that. Okay. Interesting, I read an article recently, and I'll just share this with you, that we can make really poor choices and still lose weight. And I'm not saying to do this at all, but in this study, there was a professor at one of the colleges who wanted to see if it was possible to actually lose weight and eat unhealthy foods. And so he decided to go on a diet of eating like Little Debbie's or Hostess cakes for 30 days. And in those 30 days, he lost, you know, I want to say 10, 15, 20 pounds by just eating within a calorie range and eating unhealthy foods. But he did have some health problems associated with it, you know, so it's really important to eat healthy. You can lose weight eating unhealthy foods, but it's not the best. When you have a nice, healthy nutritional balance, your skin looks good, your hair looks good, you look healthy, you feel good, you're just, you know, you're in a good place, you're energized, and you know, it's a good thing. It's good for you. All right. So, and sleep is vital to weight loss. If you're not sleeping enough, then that could also impact weight loss. So make sure you get enough sleep. All right, so that is our session for today, really about, you know, not overdoing it. A couple of reminders, you know, my newsletter is coming out this weekend. It'll be out on Saturday. If you've not subscribed, I please encourage you, really do it. The newsletter is fabulous. It has some fantastic spring recipes. It talks all about some of the fruits and vegetables that are available and what you can do with them during the spring season. And also it talks about some great exercises that you can try outdoors. And what I love the best is really how to get through the holidays without gaining weight. So that's my favorite part of the newsletter. So please subscribe. If you haven't done that, you can go on my Facebook page and click on sign up, and it'll take you straight to the sign up page, or you can go to my website. It's www.healthy-mamab.com and subscribe to it. I do not send a whole lot of information out, but I will be sending out a quarterly newsletter for now. And I'm so excited because Healthy Mama B, the last time I checked, had over 2,400 followers. 2,400 followers. So that's amazing. 2,400 people are following Healthy Mama B. Share everything that I put out there. Spread the word. People can lose weight. They can get fit. They can be healthy. It's all a matter of the mind. Transform yourself. Transform your world. So please, share the love, get your friends and family healthy, let them know about Healthy Mama B so that the whole world can get to the right place and they can feel good about themselves. So I'm so psyched. 2,400 people, that's amazing. It's just amazing. I can't believe it. So thanks for all your support, everybody. Have a wonderful day. And if you have any ideas for future sessions, if you have any questions, if there's anything you want to know, please just shoot me a message or send me a text or anything just to get a hold of me. Send me an email. I'm happy to tap into whatever it is that you want to know. And last but not least, just keep in mind tomorrow the bee's knees comes out. So if you have been on your path to success with fitness and weight loss, then share it. Let us know how you're doing. Everybody wants to celebrate you. So please send me a message, type me a little note and let me know so that we can celebrate you and your successes, because that's a vital part of your journey as well, to get recognition for all the hard work that you've done. So good for you. Thank you, everybody. Be healthy, be happy, and have a great night. Bye.